Truth is, we've just not had good luck with the DCT setup. It is dyno day for the S15. We've been here before, but now the car is officially manual swap thanks to Fish Racing. We have a CD09 in there now, and Freddie actually already got started on the tune last night. We found an oil leak, which actually was just from the spacer to space out the oil pedestal from the DCT. That I forgot to take off, so that's off now, and we're just making sure the boost controller works, because that also wasn't working last night. So hopefully today is the day that we'll work out all of the kinks. Just check over the tune. Vargas had already set an initial tune on it, and obviously from the last dyno video you saw Lee checked it out as well, but it's been quite a while and a few things have changed on the car, so Freddie's gonna go over it and make sure it's safe for this weekend at Pole Tap, because it's gonna have its first taste of proper drifting very, very soon. So I'm excited. Freddie's about to be here and we're gonna see what she makes. Alright, we're having a little bit of breakup issues, so we threw some new spark plugs in there, and hopefully we should be good now. I think we're pretty much at our goal for the power we want to make for my very first event in the car, so it definitely has more in it. He's at 20 pounds of boost right now, and that's like really good power for that, so I'm happy. I just want to drift it. Well, on the very last pull of the day, the engine blew up. Just, yep, because of something so stupid. Ah, it's so frustrating. Last pull of the day, engine went boom. Freak incident. On the back of our plenum, we have this fitting. This fitting goes to our vacuum block that goes to the fuel pressure regulator, as well as our manifold pressure sensor. Freak part of the accident is just that that fitting was loose. It ended up vibrating over time and decided to completely vibrate and blow off at the top of a pole. 8,000 RPM, which means that our manifold pressure sensor read 0 at the top of a pole. And like I said, it was the last pull of the day. We knew after seeing that the engine was hurt, compression was down, and she's done. So yeah, engine blowing up, that really sucks. And you know what also sucks? Is feeling disconnected from a car that you love. And that's why I wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Likewise. Now, I'm all about having the best connection to my car, and I've actually been rocking Likewise shifters for many, many years now. They're extremely high quality, perfectly weighted, and offer a variety of colors and adapters, and even have fun custom engravings. The first Likewise product that I bought forever ago was actually their Suzuka extension, which is this guy right here. Because I am short, I sit really far forward in every car, and this adjustable extension helps me offset the shifter to be in a more comfortable position for me. It also just looks super, super cool. And I've actually got something new I wanted to unbox with you guys for the S15. This is the Daytona Pro model. The Daytona is actually their #1 selling shifter model of all time, and the Daytona Pro offers a maximum grip and maximum weight. I love it. Now this is a special Valentine's Day edition of the Ghost model. If you want something with a sleeker, more minimalist design, the Ghost model is where it's at. It's weighted stainless steel, and the exterior is temperature resistant CNC machined delray. And all of their Valentine's edition shifters do come with free custom engraving. For all of you guys that have not done your shopping yet, if you want to level up your driving experience, check out Likewise with the link in the description, and let me know in the comments, which one are we picking for the S15? The Daytona Pro or the Ghost? But today is our official redemption day. We got the engine rebuilt. John Vargas came down here, rebuilt it in just a few hours, checked over everything, and this is redemption day. So we are back on the dyno. So the last time we were here, things didn't end very well. So I'm hoping today we have some redemption. Quadrupled bolt checked everything in there, and we're hoping that, you know, that's the last time that we're going to be rebuilding this engine for a while.
So last time we're pretty much done with the dyno session, but one of the very last pulls, this vacuum block that is 6 in union to the plenum here was loose, and it ended up vibrating out, and this vacuum block fell off.
How awful is that?
It's terrible.
Just is literally right there. Everything was fine. Engine was fine. Everything was going great, and boom.
So this is responsible for the fuel pressure regulator and the manifold pressure sensor. So therefore, vacuum line popped off at 8,000 RPM. ECU thought it had no boost, took all the fuel out, leaned off the motor, and it hurt a rotor.
And that was at like the top of the pool?
Yeah,
like 7,000 RPM,
yeah,
75?
So
yeah.
Nothing anyone could have done about that. That was just a freak incident.
Yep. But now we're back. Yep. Engine has been rebuilt. Some parts replaced. We got new side seals, new corner seals. There was some areas in the side seals that had to be re-clearance because that got pinched when that incident happened. But John Vargas came over here, worked with Mike as well, just to have a game plan on the best way to move forward. Everything is back in, and we are back at the dyno again with Freddie. So hopefully today goes well, and I actually get to drive this thing for what I consider the first time. Was that first one at more boost?
Yeah, we took that filter thing off.
It really made that bit of a difference?
It made 3 more pounds of boost, all on its own.
That's wild!
So much surface area just suffocates the turbo.
I would never guess that. So for that first pull, where it almost made 500, all Freddie did was take this off, and immediately 3 more pounds of boost. That's crazy! 469. We were winding at 450.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like that is honestly better than I was expecting.
You have 1.3 liters of displacement.
Hey, but
it's like less than a soda bottle.
It's a mighty 1.3, alright? Alright? Pull before that was 450.
Hit 27 pounds when I made almost 500.
Got it.
And it just overboosted, overshot the target because of the inlet restriction.
I think we're gonna end at our 469 horsepower, which honestly my goal was like 550, if not or sorry, 450, if not a little bit under that, just to be on the safer side. So 469, super pumped about that. One thing we're gonna have to address later is just our ratio in the rear. Pretty sure it's 3.5. It's a swapped in a 350Z diff, and I'm pretty sure it was 3.5, so we might want to go up if we can later on. I'm just gonna see what I can do as is for now. Alright y'all, it's finally time to drive this thing! Finally! We got our CD09 transmission in here. I'm pumped, man. It's been a long time coming, so today's the day. Why not, for the first laps, have Adam come out here with his former S15.
Sensor like signals all over the place.
You take one lap in my car.
Well, maybe that's your problem the whole time.
Here,
It looks like you have a multiple sensor issue, because look, it's priming right now, so it should have 50 psi of fuel pressure, and look, 0 fuel pressure, 1 oil pressure, so that tells me you have a multiple sensor issue, which would be your reference, because they're probably linked. When one has issues, the other one has issues too.
I'm still trying to mentally process that it says there's 3 psi of my oil pressure.
You'll be fine.
And you just turned it on twice.
You'll be fine.
You just turned it on twice.
You'll be alright.
Will I though? Will I?
Yeah. Alright, let's tow this thing again.
Wow.
Oh, there's a giant pool of oil underneath it.
You're...
I'm just playing.
Stop. Boyfriend destroys my car, my beautiful brand new car that I just drifted for the first time ever.
Hey, what's for dinner? I'm like not joking, I'm hungry.
Let's roll and see how this plays out. Well, maybe we still have our sensor issue. And maybe it's, like he said, sensor overall, not just the fuel pressure sensors. We thought it was earlier, and we literally thought we figured it out because the harness was so heavy that you could see the fuel pressure sensor like moving. And that's why this was only happening when the car was actually drifting, and this didn't happen at all on the dyno. So we think it's something that's moving. We'll figure that out. The other thing I forgot to mention, because I was just excited to be drifting the car for the first time, is that we got to figure out what's going on with the brakes. Before, one of my calipers was bad. We have a new caliper on the car, which is why that's the one that is not actually painted at the moment. But brakes are still feeling super funky, not really working that great. So we got to figure that out, and then hopefully the sensor thing. But he just recklessly started my car 3 times when it said 3 PSI.
Rotary.
And they need oil.
They got oil in the fuel.
They need all the oil.
They got oil in the fuel. Yeah.
Wow. Well, guess I'm just stranded here, y'all. The good news is that there is not a pool of oil under the car. Confirmed. So hopefully it is just a sensor thing, but maybe we'll end the video here. See, this is the journey. Life throws so many variables at you. You never know what's gonna happen. And we just had this extreme high of drifting the Rotary S15 for the first time, and then now it's playing games with me, but I think we'll work it out. Hopefully it's nothing too crazy, and we still accomplished something that I've been wanting to accomplish for a year now, which is drifting this thing properly at the compound. The biggest thing, like I said, that I need is a different diff ratio in the rear. Desperately. Like, I could make it work, and I did make it work driving with Adam, but it was like, wah-bah. And I'm gonna have to be way more abusive to the clutch if I'm gonna drive literally anywhere. So that will probably be another change coming up after we figure out all of this sensor craziness. But that is it for this video. Gonna leave you guys on a little cliffhanger. Hopefully we are good to go, and it's just something electrical or wiring related, which sometimes those are very annoying to figure out, but hopefully we will be good. That is it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Rotary S15. Any events coming up like around Florida too that maybe I should go to over the next month or so, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video.